What's good, my YouTube friends and family members and my fellow dragon riders alike? Welcome back! And today we're here with part 2 of unboxing the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake toys that I found from Target. Now, if you have not checked out part 1, make sure you click off of this video and go watch part 1 right now. I'll give you a 5-second head start to do so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So did y'all do it? Alright, and while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so you don't miss any new videos that I upload for you guys to enjoy. And don't forget to like the video and comment down below. And at this video, if you've seen both videos, I want you guys to tell me which out of all these toys, which one was your most favorite. But anyway, with that being said, we are here with the Titan Red Death and the Final Battle Pack set. Both of these are Target exclusive, so if you want to get these, you can only find these at Target. But let's go ahead and kick it off with the Titan Red Death, since out of these two, the Red Death is the least expensive. And here we have the Titan Red Death in her packaging, as she would appear on store shelves. Now this is the queen of all dragons alike, which is the main villain of the first How to Train Your Dragon movie. Now, not gonna lie, I kind of like her design, but I wish they would have dimmed this horn down just a tad bit more, because in the animated version, her horn wasn't as big. I also like how they added more red to her, so now you can actually see why they call it the Red Death. And I really like the packaging they went with, like the actual toy figure sticking its head out of the package, while the art design makes it look like her whole body is right here. And the wings, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. And there is a Try Me feature, and this figure actually makes sounds, so hold on, let me turn off my AC so that way we can actually hear the sounds. Yeah, and that's one of the many sounds that she makes. Now, the box design, I'm going to show you that real quick. So that's one side. Here's the other side where the Red Death is actually staring at you. And on the back of the box, you can see we have an awesome image of the Titan Red Death. And here we have some of the other dragons available, like this Toothless that I'm still on the hunt for. And if you watch part 1, you know that I had just reviewed the fish legs and Gronckle set. But this Red Death here will cost you $40 over at Target, because when they announced these toys were coming out, they said that this was supposed to be like around $30 at Target, but I guess they upped the price. But let's go ahead and get the Queen of Dragons outside of her package. Oh, can't forget my good old trusty blade. And here is the Red Death outside of her package, and it looks like we're going to play everybody's favorite game, How to Build Your Dragon. Oh, and by the way, she comes with a little instruction manual right here that tells you how to work her and to put her together. I won't be really needing this, but let's go ahead and get this big girl assembled. And finally assembled, here is the Red Death put together, and I just gotta say, wow, she is fucking huge. That is what she said. Ha! But anyway, jokes aside, this has to be one of the biggest How to Train Your Dragon toys in my whole entire collection so far. I do not have a big enough ruler to measure how much she is, but yeah, she's a big girl, I'm gonna say that. But let's look at the articulation. So the front legs actually, well, all the legs move back and forth, and unlike all the other dragons, she has the Night Fury emblem on her right leg right here. And then this is the battery compartment, and I'm guessing that she probably takes either AA batteries or maybe even more than that, maybe even AAA. I have not checked yet, and I do not want to check. And I had and down here you can see the different settings. I turned it off right now because we're not focusing on the noise at the moment. We're just going to check out the articulation. Then we'll be talking about the noise. The head does not move, but the jaw does. So that's for her main action feature. The wings are on hinges, which is actually pretty cool. I like this better than the real feel wings that they did on the Gronckle and fish legs things. I feel like what they could have done, they could have kept the real feel dragon wings on that one, but they could have also made the wings do this on the ball joints. And I really like the design that they did on the wings, how it's all almost like a grayish black, and the tip of the wings are all bloody red and stuff. That's actually pretty cool attention to detail. I love all the spikes that they have going down here, and her little mace tail, which is what Hiccup accidentally bumps into during the final battle and how he partly lost his leg. But anyway, also right here is the button that when you push it, the mouth actually opens. And speaking of which, let's actually check out her main action feature already. So let's go ahead and turn her back on. So she has two different settings right here. So here is one. Wait, so she's off right now, but let's turn it to 1 and let's see what happens. Focus, camera, focus. All right, now let's see. All right, so these are sound effects from the movie, obviously, but I hear you. Let's see what happens if there's any difference when we put her in 2. Oh, I heard something new. Oh, let's see. Oh, so that's a new sound effect. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Red Death. And what you can do with these little blind box dragons is that compared to how small they are compared to the Red Death, you can actually use these type of dragons and use them as an interaction and pretend that you're actually having a final battle with the Red Death. I would get my Toothless, but he's too out of reach for me right now, and I don't really feel like stretching that far out to get him. So yeah, that is going to be it for the Red Death. But finally, let's jump into the final battle pack. And finally, to finish off all these dragon reviews, here is the Volcano Island final battle pack set. And this is also a Target exclusive. Now, this will run you at about $49.99. So essentially $50 and plus tax, of course. Now, the one problem I don't like, there is one problem that I do not like about this set, is that it comes with 3 Viking action figures and 4 dragons, which means fish legs. I mean, the Gronckle right here is going to be missing a rider. So like I said before, you are going to, if you want to have fish legs with this Gronckle, you are going to have to get the fish legs and Gronckle thing separately. But this is a pretty cool set overall, and this is an exclusive set because for a few reasons. One, the Hiccup and Toothless in this set are different compared to the solo pack that costs $15, which we'll get to that in a minute. And this is probably the only set that you can get that includes Snotlout and Hook Fang. And on the side package right here, you can see we have a nice, beautiful image of Mason Thames and Nico Parker riding on top of Toothless. And I want to say something about this picture right here. The picture overall is okay, but if you look at Hiccup's leg, one leg is right here, and half of his leg is cut off, like it's not on this side of Toothless. Like, I don't know why they decided to do that, but anyway. And here is the dragon symbol on the side right there. And on the back of the box, you can see we have this awesome image, again, with Nathan Thames and Nico Parker on top of Toothless. And you can see the exclusive figures that are in this set, like this Snotlout, this Monstrous Nightmare, this Toothless, and this Hiccup, which we will get to that in a minute. And one thing I also really like about this box is that it's actually in the shape of a Viking boat. But anyway, with that being said, let's get my good old trusty handy dandy blade over here and get these guys outside of their package now, shall we? Sorry for the inconvenience, but this is taking me a little longer than I thought it would. I almost got it, guys. Alright, so after a brief while of getting all these things outside the packaging, man, that really is a struggle. That's probably going to take you about like a good 5 minutes, or maybe even a little bit more, to get these things out of the package if you're more careful. But let's just go ahead and start with the Gronckle. Alright, so here is the Gronckle from the Final Battle Pack set. Now, comparing it to the normal Gronckle, there are several differences. Like, for instance, the mouth does not close. It is stuck on there tightly. Whereas this one, you can open and close the mouth. And I also see that this one has a bobblehead feature. Well, this one doesn't. I prefer this one to not have the bobblehead feature. Whereas this one, I don't really like it. And I noticed that this one does look a little bit more thicker compared to this one. And they both still got that bulldog look on their faces going on. The saddle is a little bit more bigger than this one. And fish legs can still ride up upon this Gronckle. So let me just go ahead and swap him out real quick. And put him on top of this Gronckle. Yep. I'm pretty sure all Vikings can ride any dragon. And the wings, they're not real feel dragon wings, but again, I really like the ball joint move that they did for the wings, so you could put them in any kind of position you want. Whereas this one, it's stuck on springs, and you can't really do much with them. I mean, you can pretend that they're flapping around, but I like this one that has a lot more features. As for articulation, head still moves, the back legs move as well. And all dragons still have that Night Fury emblem on the bottom of all their stomachs. So that is it for the Gronckle. But now let's move on to another dragon, shall we? Alright, and next up we will be taking a look at the Deadly Nadder, aka Stormfly. And we will be playing another game of how to build your dragon. So let's just pop this wing back in its socket real quick. And here is the Deadly Nadder in its full glory outside the packaging. And oh my gosh, look at the face sculpting that they did and the paint. Wow, that actually looks so damn good. Nah, hold on, let me get a closer look. Let me see if I can get a better view for you guys. Nah, I like how they did all the battle scars and everything, even the eye. Wow. Wow, they went all out on this. Again, the jaw does not move, but that's okay. The face sculpting and the scars on this one are spot on. The legs do move, if you're wondering. And there's the Night Fury emblem. The wings, I actually really like these type of wings, where they're obviously on ball joints, so you can move them in any kind of position or way. I like the position that they made the wings in that arch. I actually really like that. The one thing I do have to complain about the Deadly Nadder is that they decided to paint these back spikes, but they didn't bother to paint the yellow spikes on its tail, which I don't really mind it. It's just that they went into detail by painting all the ropes and harnesses on the dragon's body, but they couldn't be bothered to do the yellow spikes on its tail. But that's just one side. That's just one picky side. But anyway, let us check out another dragon. Alright, so next up we have is Hookfang the Monstrous Nightmare. And we also have a game of how to build your dragon. Now let's go ahead and get this guy assembled, shall we now? And he is all assembled, and wow, this is actually a bigger Hookfang Monstrous Nightmare dragon than I was expecting. The face sculpting on these guys is actually really, really good. Like, I like how they looked in the trailer, but now that we're seeing them in toy form, wow, they actually did the details pretty well. The pink in his tongue and everything, wow, even the ropes on his horns are pretty well painted. So he actually has a few features. So you can actually pose the wings back like that, and if you wanted to have a more wider wingspan, you can actually extend the wings. And wow, he has a way bigger wingspan than I was anticipating for. Yeah, and you can also see he got his little claws up here. Wow. And the tail is what makes him a big dragon. Like, wow. I almost thought the Red Death was big, but now I think he might be almost the same size as the Red Death. And as for articulation, the wings do move. Hold on, let me actually close these up because it's taking up a little bit too much space. So the wings do move down, but not too much up because of the sculpting right here on where the wing peg is. So it can only go up so much. The legs do rotate back and forth. And there is the Night Fury emblem right there on the bottom of its stomach. But yeah, I actually really like how they designed Hook Fang in this movie. But let's go ahead and check out the final dragon in the set. And the final dragon in the set is none other than everyone's favorite Night Fury dragon, Toothless. Now, of course, we have one last game of how to build your dragon. So let's go ahead and get his wing on, shall we? And on goes his wing. I gotta say, we just had to wing it. Balloon tits. Nah, that wasn't as funny. But anyway, here is Toothless in his full glory. So again, wings are on ball hinges. So one thing I actually like about these wings is that you can actually position them in the ways to how Toothless was doing those dances in How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World to Impress the Light Fury, where he does this little dance move with his wings and does the you can even have the little Light Fury. Oh, here, slap him on that face. I actually really like that about these wings. And everything else is actually pretty painted, pretty damn good. You got all the ropes going underneath him. There's his little Night Fury symbol right there. And you got his ropes going all the way up to his pirate skull tail or Viking skull tail. So this is the exclusive part of Toothless, is that the tail fin is red instead of the brown that we see throughout the most of the first movie. That's what makes this thing so exclusive, because the other one that comes with Hiccup and Toothless by itself, his tail fin is actually brown. So if you want to get this one, you got to get the final battle pack set. It'll cost you a lot of money, but I'd say it's worth it. But let's go ahead and check out the... Oh yeah, forgot about our other articulation. His legs are actually pretty tight in there with the joints, so you can position his legs back so you can actually make it look like he is flying about on the Isle of Berk. And yep, there is rotation on his head. And I forgot to mention that there is no movement in Hook Fang's head because... Well, hold on, let me actually bring out Hook Fang real quick. So yeah, there is no rotation in Hook Fang's head. Even though it may look like there is, there really isn't. And I forgot to mention that about the Deadly Nadder, there is also rotation in its head as well. But now, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the riders. So here are the 3 figures that comes in the final battle pack set. We have Hiccup, Astrid, and Snotlout. So let's go ahead and look at Hiccup first. Now, what's so exclusive about this Hiccup compared to the other Hiccup is that this Hiccup actually has his prosthetic leg on it. So this is what Hiccup's prosthetic leg is going to look like in the live action remake. And it's not a bad design, actually. I can't wait to see how they redesign his prosthetic leg in How to Train Your Dragon 2 in 2027. But anyway, I actually like how these figures are. And I didn't expect them to be so small. Like, I honestly really like the scale, because with how small these figures are compared to the scale of their dragons, that's actually a pretty accurate scale. But the face paint is actually pretty darn good. But as for articulation, he can move his head all the way around, a little bit up and down, just a little bit. Shoulder rotation, nothing in the elbows, no torso, but the hips can go far back like that, so he can ride the dragon. And there is a knee rotation as well. And on all these riders, there are these 2 holes in their foot, so that way they could be able to ride the dragons. But I'll show you that in a minute. But for now, let us check out Nico Parker, aka Astrid. So here is the Astrid figure, and again, these face paint sculpts are actually pretty well painted. I tried to find the best one in Target that had the best face paint on these guys, and I think I got the best one. So same articulation with her, head moves, shoulders, thighs, and knees. And I was skeptical about Nico Parker's costume design for Astrid. It's good, but I honestly wish they would have given her blonde hair, because Astrid in the animated franchise always had blonde hair. But that's besides the point. Let's go ahead and check out the final figure in this set, which is Snotlout. Now, I forgot the name of who is playing Snotlout in this movie, but overall his design is actually pretty good. So again, head movement, shoulders, hips, and knee rotation. Yeah, pretty damn good. Oh, there goes Astrid. Now let us see what these guys look like when they're on their dragons. But first, I want to do a quick scale comparison with these figures to their animated counterparts. So here is my figure of Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon 2. And here is my Astrid figure from How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World. Sadly, I was not able to find a How to Train Your Dragon 2 Astrid figure, but hopefully I will one day. And here is my Snotlout figure from How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now, this is the newest How to Train Your Dragon Snotlout figure that I have gotten in my collection. But I wish I would have gotten a second movie Astrid, because this does not really fit well. But if I wanted to, I could just take these out and take out the ones that came out during the premiere of the third How to Train Your Dragon movie. So here are their animated movie counterparts compared to the 2025 live action remake. And these figures right here are scaled to be 3 inches high. But let me get out the ruler and see how Hiccup does. So yeah, he's almost about 3 inches high, so not bad. But yeah, oh, there he goes. Stand back up real quick. Damn, stand up. There we go. And I also want to bring out Fish Legs again, so hold on, let me get him for you real quick. And here is Fish Legs right next to everybody else. And here again, here is Fish Legs' animated counterpart compared to these guys. So yeah, that is going to be it for the comparison scales for right now. And here we have all the Vikings riding on top of all their dragons. And like I said before, the sculpting with the figures and the dragons is actually pretty well done, especially the scaling with how they did Snotlout, as smaller he is compared to Hook Fang. Like, I actually really like that attention to detail. Now let's do a quick scale comparison with this new Toothless and Hiccup compared to the How to Train Your Dragon 2 Toothless and Hiccup, and they're both pretty good scale and size, not gonna lie. And I also have this 2010 Toothless that I got from eBay a few years ago. He's actually a pretty good scale and size as well. And here is Nico Parker and the Deadly Nadder compared to the smaller and cheaper, well, not really cheaper version, but there's the smaller version of Astrid and Stormfly from the toy line of How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World. Yeah, I do not really like how small they made Stormfly here. And here we have the live action Snotlout and Hook Fang compared to the cartoon version. Yes, this is the 2014 Snotlout riding on the Hidden World Hook Fang. I would get the other Snotlout in here, but I want to compare the unmasked version of Snotlout with this newer one. And second to last, we also have the newer Fish Legs and Gronckle compared to the Hidden World version that I showed you guys in part 1. And like I said, I did not like how big they made Fish Legs look when he's sitting up on top of Meat Lug. And here is Hiccup and Toothless compared to the scaling of the Titan Red Death. And wow, that is actually kind of cool. But let's try something different. So earlier in the video, I said that Hook Fang over here was almost the same exact size compared to the Red Death, and I actually want to see if that actually is true. So let me put Hook Fang on top of the Red Death, and nope, the Red Death is almost a little bit more bigger than the Monstrous Nightmare. And the only other Red Death toy I have to compare to this one is the 2010 Happy Meal toy that they came out with How to Train Your Dragon back in 2010. but I really don't feel like getting that out right now. And that is going to wrap up my toy review of these new How to Train Your Dragon live action remake toys. Again, these can be found at Target on May 1st, but hopefully later in late summer we will be seeing more of these toys in Walmarts or something like that, because I also went to a local Walmart and they also didn't have jack shit. But like I said, all these toys that I reviewed in 2 videos, all these toys cost me $167.97. So I definitely saved up a lot of allowance just to get these things. But I say it's pretty much worth it if you are a dedicated fan to collecting How to Train Your Dragon toys such as these. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I upload for y'all to enjoy. And if you guys would like to follow me on my social media accounts, all links will be in the description down below, as well as the link to my second YouTube channel, so make sure you go and follow me there. And again, shout out to Spin Master for making these wonderful How to Train Your Dragon toys for us to enjoy. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and until then, peace out, my fellow Dragon Riders. And I also want to say that the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake will be hitting theaters on Friday, June 13th, 2025. So I will definitely be giving you a movie review whenever I go and see it. But anyway, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. And until then, now without further ado, peace out, my fellow Dragon Riders.